This is going to be the cross your fingers episode because
Yes, it is. If I've often thought of, I don't actually want to have a grave, but if I had a gravestone, like what I would put on it, and there's so many good choices of quotes, but I think the best one, maybe the most apt one, is technology will never, or no, technology has never failed me, with a little asterisk on it, and then at the bottom of the grave it would say, "Just kidding."
well, Paul had some weird audio things going on. XSplit just decided to crash, and my monitors are reversed again. So it was
Perfect
really
timing,
just
you know?
if the podcast doesn't work, you got your money's worth. That is.
Yeah, and if there's an audio echo of some sort, yeah, we don't need to hear about it, because this is not what's the setup's going to be on Monday. So I had a problem with a laptop. The laptop I usually use on this laptop stand here stopped powering. I don't know why. So I plugged it in. I'm going through a dock, so I just plugged it into the HP power. It's not charging now either, so I don't know if something's wrong. Maybe it's dead. I don't know. So I just grabbed the other laptop I'm using, and for Monday and then beyond, if this thing doesn't come back, I have another laptop still, so I'll just keep changing laptops. But until they're all gone, and then I'm just done. I guess I don't know.
No, we all live in the Yellow Submarine or something like that, right?
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. This is so weird.
I don't know. There's not too much going on other than probably the biggest revelation or thing happening across the industry is related to Jon Stewart potentially canceling his Apple TV show, primarily because from the reports on the internet that Apple doesn't want to make China angry, and they had to separate because of that.
So let me get this straight. In a moment of utter hypocrisy and irony, Apple has decided to censor a show that was being critical of a government that censors its people. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? The Apple, what happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone company, those guys? Are you kidding me? About we value diversity and freedom of speech. Those people? Are you serious? I mean, look. I like their stuff. I do. But come on, you can't ignore what the company really is. I mean, it just comes up again and again. You can make the most beautiful promotional videos of all time, and they do, and it doesn't change what they are. Just throwing it out there.
Company.
Apple is like the only company on earth that could make the list of the best company, be number one on the list of the best companies on earth, and number one on the company list of worst companies on earth, right?
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. And yet, this should have been predictable.
Oh, yeah. This is, I don't want to get too much off the political band, but
Sure.
Tesla's in the same way, Twitter's in the same, whatever it's called this week, right? It's all the same stuff because, right? Those are huge markets, and these companies don't want to. Microsoft's in there too, Google's in there, Facebook is in there. It's
right.
Anyways, yep, here we are. What are the better things that's happening? At least I'm having a lot of fun with it, so I don't know. Whatever. Midjourney pushed an update.
Yeah.
And so now you can take all of their images and upscale them to 4K. Now, per their own words, they said, we will leave this enabled until our GPUs melt. And as an experiment, and I've been going crazy with it, creating I like gradient wallpapers. That's what I like. And so I've been creating tons of these things on here. And it's good.
Nice.
It's
okay.
Whatever.
Right.
It's kicking out 4K AI images that you can't tell aren't real. That's apparently Google has one too coming.
An image generator.
Yeah, apparently it's hidden right now.
It's in their search generative experience or whatever, or generative.
I can't
search
pull it up because this just got sent to me on the Twitters from Hoity. I can never.
Everyone's doing it.
They are. I know he sent me a message on there, and he said, "Look, have you seen this?" And said somebody discovered this is literally 23 hours ago that on Bard, which is again still a terrible name. Has a hidden AI tool or AI image generator tool like DALL-E 3. So
Well, I mean, this is out. I mean, sorry, they do have this out public. It's in their search thing. So
Is it?
they have search. Obviously, everyone's heard of that. But there's something I'm not getting this name exactly right. But it's the search. Maybe it's the generative search experience or something like that. Whatever their AI search experiment page is, that does image generation too.
Gotcha. Well, everybody's doing it. All the cool kids are on board.
Yep. Yeah. Well, as predicted, right? I mean, AI has become table stakes. So.
Yeah, it is. If you like that stuff, I don't know. I find it interesting. Like, it's fun to use.
No, I do too.
I sent my
No, I
dad.
mean, even since this started, late last year we would play around with, what was it at the time, DALL-E 2 or something, and you'd make these images. They were pretty cool. They're fun. Bing did the stuff, and went to DALL-E 3 now, and whatever. And Adobe's doing it. I've done some nice stuff in Adobe too. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of there. I do sort of. I'm not gonna call it names here, but I found it amusing on a social network that a journalist at a certain publication was sort of said something like, "Everyone's complaining about how AI is going to steal jobs and it's bad and blah blah blah." But I'm not an artist and I use this technology to create these great pictures and I don't see what the problem is. And it's like, well, buddy, I mean, what about when they use it to start writing your articles? Will you see the problem then? I mean, like, what a weird lack of self-awareness, But I don't know. This is going to be an unfortunate level setting of the value of things, right? And in the same way that 99-cent songs and then music streaming kind of devalued music. I mean, I think this is the devaluing of a lot of kinds of content. And I think that, well, this is probably semi-related to that writer's strike in Hollywood, right? I mean, because I'm not saying they'll be put out of a job exactly, but in many ways, content creators, writers, or people who make videos or artists or whatever, will largely become curators, and their ability to be creative may hinge on their ability to be creative with a specific set of tools, just like you had to learn Photoshop maybe back in the day or whatever tool in whatever industry. Really you're almost like a front end to an AI at this point, or will be soon.
I mean, haven't we always what's the meat up here? Like
Well, no, I mean, so in other words, some people are good at something, right? Yeah,
right.
I think I'm a pretty good writer, whatever. Is it possible in the future that my ability will be used to curate something generated by AI, right? I won't do that personally, he says idiotically, knowing that things are going to change, but many people will. And to separate yourself from the masses is going to be a little harder because AI will be able to generate such high quality content.
Yeah, no, I mean, to use a Microsoft term, it democratizes creativity.
Right, which is it sounds so beautiful, doesn't it? Democratization sounds wonderful. But in this case, yes. The flip side of this, of course, is that the flip side of any conversation about the elimination of jobs has to include such things as go back in time and look at some of the stupid jobs that used to exist and realize like how far beyond that we are, and those shouldn't be jobs, right? And that's part of evolution and whatever. And that's fine, except for that generation of people that are caught in the middle, right? The people who are were steel miners in the late 1980s, early 1990s, steel makers or whatever. The people who were coal miners, whatever. I mean, all of these boats that we have floating around with oil in them, moving oil back and forth between countries. I mean, we're going to look back on that one day and be like, that was ridiculous. We should never have done that. Which is no consolation to the people who are employed in that industry today, right? That's the problem. I mean, so it's a problem for people today. This will not be a problem for my kids' kids or our kids' kids or whatever, right? Or maybe even for our kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not going to solve the big problems on Friday's podcast, Brad, but it's just
we can try.
But you kind of go down that rabbit hole. It's hard not to.
We can try. And we will keep trying until we should just turn ourselves into AI personas. You can already do the voice stuff.
I know. Pretty soon we're just going to be like these goofy Actually, we'll just be like super realistic looking avatars, right? We could be doing it right now and no one would know.
We could just be typing the prompts in. It generates the script.
The script is something stupid, something semi-intelligent, something stupid, end show. It's just Here's the script. AI will be like, yep, we get your personas. We know what you guys are like. Bullshit for a couple minutes. We are so useless.
We really are. I mean,
think
when
it's
you
the point of
pull up
this.
the mirror of self-reflection, it's like, what did you
Exactly.
add to society? And it's honestly not a lot.
Confronted by the pointlessness of your existence, how do you face the morning? I don't know, but we're about
We
to
are
do
the
it.
cosmic podcast background radiation of society. It is just putting out. God,
Have a good weekend.
I'm not hitting the exit button. We're just going to continue to fill the void.
Just keep it on the uncomfortable silence. If you could, just like zoom in slowly on my face as the tear comes down.
Slowly watching us. The great part is I can't see the cameras because technology screwed up again, and I don't actually remember for brief moments like who's it actually on? Is it on me? Is it on you? Is
It's
it
on
split?
me. It's on us. Yeah, we're split right now. We've been split for most of the shows.
Yeah, that which usually like it bounces back and forth, but
Sure. Speaking of
Here we
which,
are.
we need to start investigating a new way to record this.
yeah. Actually, I want to switch. Like when it comes to little recording, I do want to. I'm using XSplit. I'm going to flip over at some point to OBS, but haven't done it yet.
I've been using OBS on that hands-on Windows podcast. It works. It's great.
Yeah, I will flip over to that. Like, I have this great idea in my head, Paul, throughout. It's a wonderful idea. Stupid idea.
Yep.
So right now I'm recording this on a Windows 10 box. I have this great idea that when Windows 12 comes out, I'm going to build a new machine, more than likely. And my machine that's upstairs, which is more powerful than the one I'm on here, will then migrate its way down here to become the podcast box. And that's when I would make the flip. I don't know. It sounds good on paper until I have to do things like lift things and move things. And
Yeah. Well, and then sometimes life just forces your hand, like with this laptop that suddenly decided I don't feel like charging anymore for some reason. So I don't know. That will be part of my day, looking at this thing.
yeah.
Where's the orange light, Brad? Where
I
is
don't know,
it?
everybody better enjoy this one because I forgot to tell Paul I'm going to the office early next week. So
Oh, no.
probably not a podcast first couple of days of next week. So
Okay.
there you go.
I'll survive that.
Will you?
I probably will. It'll give me time to fix this laptop.